Let's play High Frontier 4 all on Tabletop Simulator. I'll be playing the solo Altruism scenario using modules 0, 1, and 2. If you would like to see an introductory game with only module 0, I recommend my first High Frontier video series. You can find a link in the description. I'll use the script to set up the game. I'll make sure to select one player and check the boxes for the 3 modules. Playing with Module 1 and 2 incorporates features to the game. In order to play with these modules, I'll need to select 7 rounds. Now the script will randomly assign me a faction. Okay, so I get the purple crew card. I can choose between the Takenauts with the Felonious ability and the Riskosmos with the Taxes ability. When playing with Module 2, the faction ability won't be available until I anchor my home Bernal. Will probably be a while until I get to do that. I guess I'll go with the Roskosmos. Their thruster is a tad more powerful, and I don't think I'll be using the Felonious ability anyways. When playing with Module 0, the decks don't get split, so I will skip that. I start with 1 aqua per patent deck. There are 10, so I'll add 10 aqua to my bank at Alito. I'll clone one of my factory cubes to place on the sun spot cycle since the script won't recognize a busted disc. I'll also place a delegate on the centrist ideology in addition to the one on the ideology associated with my faction. I'll keep all the trackers provided by the script except for the bid tool. It's only used in a multiplayer game. Okay, let's complete the setup and start the game. When playing solo, I get to start with 6 more aqua if I have a faction with the Taxes ability. I'll add them to my bank. First, let's take a look at the patent offer. Right off the bat, I could pair the Laval nozzle with the supercritical water fission reactor to create my first rocket. I'll only need some cooling after that to make it function. I really like the Laval nozzle, but it is a bit of a fuel guzzler. Its black side is pretty good though. It might not be the best combination, but I wouldn't pass on the chance to have a functioning rocket early. So I'll go ahead and purchase the 2 component for 2 aqua. Okay, so that is our operation. Let's move to the next turn. The event is Inspiration. It will cycle the patent decks. Okay, before I purchase any other patents, let's go ahead and fundraise. I'll place the delegate on the equality ideology. That way I'll be able to take 2 cards for free next time I make a purchase. I really like the Met Steamer Robonaut. It has a 2 ISRU, and there is a generator that can easily make it functional. I'll go ahead and take the 2 for free thanks to the equality law. The event is a budget cut. I need to throw away a patent from my hand. I don't want to throw away my generator. I need it for my Robonaut, and the one available will work for industrialization or for burnals. The fusion tokamak in the offer would be an excellent replacement for my reactor. Will add the same amount of burns to my rocket, but it will make it more efficient. Although it is heavier, but that's alright. Okay, yeah, I'll discard the supercritical water fission reactor. The tokamak will work a lot better for me on the long run. I'll use my operation to take the reactor and the radiator for free. Alright, I have all the components I need to get a rocket going. The nozzle has negligible weight and costs 0 to boost. The tokamak costs 3 aqua. I need 2 therms of cooling, so I'll boost the radiator onto its heavier side. That'll cost me 2 aqua. I have the money. I might as well boost the steamer and generator to make the most of my operation. I paid a total of 9 aqua to boost the components into space. My rocket is now functional, so I'll form my rocket stack and load the Robonaut with its required generator onto the rocket. I'll also take the crew module along for the ride. I might be able to snatch a glory token or fix a glitch during the trip. The rocket has the total dry weight of 10, pretty hefty for a starting rocket, but it is powerful with a thrust of 5 plus 3 from the modifying triangle of the reactor. The reactor also makes the rocket a lot more efficient, cutting in half the fuel consumption per burn. That'll help me tremendously as money can be very tight in the beginning of the game. I'll load the rocket with 4 tanks of fuel. That will allow me to make a total of 2 burns during the trip. Now, I need to select a destination for my first foray into space. The magnetic nozzle on my thruster's black side is a lot more economical to run, especially when paired with the tokamak. I think it would be a good idea to try and produce it as early as possible to reduce my operating costs. I'll need to find a suitable M site for that. Fortunately, there are plenty of large M sites in the Ceres region. Lutetia's a size 3 and could be a possible target. I would need to take the yellow path to get to it quickly. Hertha has the same size, but might be just a little more accessible than Lutetia. Cleopatra and its 2 neighbors can be a good fallback plan, but as of right now, I don't have the ISRU technology to prospect them. Okay, I think I like Hertha as my first destination. Thanks to the moon swing, it only takes 3 burns to get there. My rocket now exists, so I'll place its figure in LEO. I still have 2 more aqua in my bank. I'll load it in my rocket as fuel to gain a 3rd burn. The rocket is still in the transport class, so its thrust will remain at 7. It takes off and burns once to enter the cycler spot. Then, it will move through the radiation belt. I roll for exposure and it's a 1. The rocket burns to enter the lag range 0.4, and then performs a moon swing to gain a bonus burn. The rocket moves past the third burn and stops at the Haman crossing. Each burn consumes 2 steps of fuel. This leaves my rocket with just 1 step, which isn't enough to burn again. But that's okay, the rocket can just coast to Hertha with the impulse it's got. The event is a glitch. Good thing I brought the crew along, they promptly take care of that. The rocket will change direction and coast to the crossing leading to the Nysa family. We'll stop there to change direction again next turn. Let's check out the patent offer. Now that I'm waiting for my rocket to reach its destination, I can use my operation to purchase a few patents. I'm going to need a refinery in order to industrialize once I claim a site. I'll go ahead and purchase the refinery and the generator, although this particular generator won't work to build the factory. But that's okay, I'm going to need to sell cards to generate some cash. Equality is still active, so the purchases are free. That's a good thing since I'm out of aqua. I'll activate my rocket again this round. It will change directions once more. This time it will coast towards Hertha and it will fire its engines just enough to touch down on the asteroid. Its thrust of 7 is more than enough to land on it. Now that the team reached the asteroid, it will run the Met steamer using the solar Stirling generator and the rocket's radiators to prospect the asteroid. The roll is a 5, so the team finds nothing to exploit on Hertha. Oh yeah, since my crew landed on the Ceres region, they can claim the Gory token for this region. Okay, so things got a bit tricky now. I'll need to fly to our backup M site Lutetia. I need to find out the most suitable route to get there. I think my rocket will be able to reach Lutetia without making any burns by using a few Haman transfers, but I'll need to be very patient. The event is a glitch, but again my mission is crewed so it has no effect. I activate my rocket to take off and let's see. And reach the crossing right outside the Nysa family cluster. For my operation, I would like to either sell cards to raise some money or buy a couple more cards. The act of law is still equality. I should take advantage of that, and I need another generator. The one I've got in my hand has a restriction that doesn't allow it to be used to build a factory or power a burnel, which is not going to work for me. I'll go ahead and take the refinery and the generator for free. I'll change directions with my rocket to move to the parallel Haman crossing, essentially backtracking the way I came for now. For my operation, I will sell the magnetoshell generator patent for 3 aquas. The event is a pad explosion or space debris. I don't have any cards in LEO, so it doesn't affect me. Alright, I'll keep coasting my rocket. This time I'll move along the LEO Callisto purple orbit until I reach the cross into Lutetia. Let's check the patent offer again. Now that I have less than 4 cards, I can purchase more patents. The CV demolding refinery has the same spectral type of my thruster. I think it is a good idea to purchase it. That way I have the choice to produce it later on once I claim an M site. The purchase is free again thanks to the active law. The rocket coasts towards Letitia. It doesn't have enough fuel to enter the burn spot, but fortunately I can reach Letitia through the bottom orbit. But of course it'll take 3 times as long. I'm pretty sure I'll find something useful to do in the meantime. Okay, I have too many refineries. I think the CV demolding will be the one to keep because of its spectral type. But before I sell, I want to change the law to freedom. That'll allow me to sell 2 cards at a time. So I'll use my operation to fundraise. Talk about bad luck. The event is anarchy, and the perch roll is 1. That means I lose the delegate I just placed. That would mean that the active law needs to change to something else. But you know what? I can lobby my delegate on the authority ideology to change the event to an inspiration. I'll manually cycle the patent deck since the event is now inspiration. Okay, now I can use the active law to sell 2 patents for 6 aqua. My rocket changes direction and moves to the next crossing. I'll need 2 more turns to reach Letitia. And that's it for the first year. I need to place a seniority disc on one of the ideologies. I usually go for equality or authority. I'll place this one on equality. Before taking my operation, I'll move the rocket again up to the Letitia orbit crossing. I think I'll purchase the free electron laser. It will allow me to pick up 2 more patents as supports. That way I'll have plenty of cards in my hand to sell later on to raise some more funds. The event is anarchy. The perch roll is 6. I don't have any delegates on that ideology. I'll place a blue disc on top of the active ideology marker to serve as a reminder that it won't be available until the end of blue season. Okay, I activate my rocket again, and finally it reaches Letitia. It has more than enough thrust to land. For my operation, I'll prospect the site with my Met steamer. I'm looking for a 3 or less. Alright, I get exactly a 3. I placed my first claim on a site. I'll have to come back here with a refinery to build a factory. This will allow me to upgrade my thruster and build other patents with the M spectral type. I don't want to carry around my Robonaut and generator. I'll create an outpost and leave them behind. So, that'll reduce my rocket's weight by 4. That's it for Anarchy. Order is restored. Okay, if I want to go back to Earth, the fastest route would be the Elio de Lutetia yellow orbit, but I'll need enough fuel for 4 burns. I'll need 8 steps of fuel for that, and at my rocket's current weight, 4 fuel tanks would do the trick. I'll use my operation to perform a site refuel. Lutetia has 3 hydration, and I'll activate my Met steamer to extract the fuel. It will yield me only 2 fuel tanks, so I'll have to wait until next turn to take off. There's a glitch event, but again, all my cards are currently with humans. Okay, I refuel once again to add 2 more tanks to my rocket. My rocket is now ready to go on its journey back to Earth. It takes off from Lutetia and waits at the crossing to change orbit next turn. Now that I've enough fuel to burn, the journey will be a lot quicker. The rocket has a net thrust of 7, so it can technically make up to 7 burns. It burns 3 times to reach Earth's radiation belt. The belt roll is 1 so-no exposure. Then it burns a 4th time to enter Elio. That'll be 8 steps of fuel consumed, leaving my rocket with 1 step of fuel and practically empty. My crew gets a hero's welcome, and I get to flip the glory token and place it on my mat. I need to boost my refinery. I also need some aqua to refuel my rocket. Both things will cost money, so I think I'll sell some of the extra patents on my hand to raise some funds. The cell nets me 6 aqua for a total of 12. The Mini-Mac Orion might be a really good gigawatt thruster for me, since it can be built on an M site. Also, these sites are pretty plentiful in the asteroid belt. I could easily promote it afterwards. Let's see if I can nab it before it's gone. Okay, the event is inspiration, so much for that idea. But it's okay, I still have plenty of time to get a gigawatt thruster. I should also think about setting up my first burnal soon. Oh, but wait, the fission heated steam freighter is a great option. Once I build my factory on Lutetia, I would be able to promote it onto its purple side. On this side, the freighter would be able to land and take off from size 5 or smaller asteroids, and it'll provide me with my first future. But first, let's get the rocket going. I'll boost the refinery. That'll cost me 3 aqua. I'll transfer the refinery onto my rocket, adding 3 to its weight. I'll also load the rocket with 4 fuel tanks. Let's see, actually the rocket is too heavy. That'll only give me a total of 3 burns. In order to get to Lutetia quickly, I'll have to load another 2 fuel tanks. Okay, now I'm ready to take off. I'll move my rocket to the cycler spot and then enter the radiation bells. The season is currently yellow, and my thrust is still 7, even at my current weight. My charged dust radiator has the weakest ride resistance with 1, but at my rocket's current velocity, it's impossible to get that much exposure anyways. The rocket will burn 3 more times to reach the Lutetia orbit crossing. That'll consume 8 steps of fuel, leaving the rocket empty. Okay, now, the rocket will change direction and land on Lutetia. I could unload my refinery and industrialize my claim, but I really want to acquire the fission heated steam freighter before it's gone. I think it'll be tremendously useful. The purple side will assign me the exoplanet Hunt Future. To complete it, I would need to claim the far-flung dwarf planets Etna. Seems almost impossible now, but if I can acquire a powerful terawatt thruster, I could make short work of it. Okay then, for my operation I'll spend 1 aqua to get the freighter. The event is a solar flare, but all my equipment is shielded on my outpost in Lutetia. Oops, I forgot to place the outpost marker 1 on Lutetia. That's not a problem, I'll place it now. To industrialize the site, I'll need to decommission a Robonaut, a refinery, and their supports. The Robonaut needs a generator to function, but I can ignore the radiator support requirements. I am able now to produce my freighter in the factory as it has an NE spectral type. But I need an M-site colony to promote it onto its purple side. So I'll decommission my crew to create the permanent colony on Lutetia. Okay, my rocket is a lot lighter now. It weighs a total of 6, but I still need to refuel it. Now that I have a factory, I can produce 7 fuel tanks regardless of the site's hydration. I could produce my freighter right now with my operation. Or I could produce my thruster's black side, the magnetic nozzle. I don't know what would be better to do first. Let's see. I think I'll produce the new magnetic nozzle first to upgrade my rocket. That way I can start moving around more efficiently. My rocket's total thrust will drop by 2, but its fuel consumption will be a quarter of the original. It consumes only half a step per burn. I don't think the consumption tracker can drop below 1. So I need to remember that I need to double the available burns on the tracker. Another solar flare event, but again, all my equipment is grounded. I'll use my operation this turn to refuel my rocket with 7 tanks. Giving it a whopping 28 available burns. Okay, I probably want my rocket to head back to Earth. I'll need to boost and pick up a robonaut again if I want to keep exploring and claiming the solar system. Also, I might want to start working on my burnal. It could really help me stabilize my economy with its steady income stream. Okay, so the plan is to use my rocket and freighter to deliver aqua to LEO, helping me raise the funds to boost the burnal. I'm not in a hurry. I'll not burn twice to change direction immediately. I want to get as much aqua as possible to LEO. The rocket will burn 3 times to enter the Earth's radiation belt. The belt roll is 5 minus the rocket's thrust of 5. That's 0 exposure. The rocket burns a 4th time to reach LEO. The 4 burns will cost me only 2 steps of fuel. That's super efficient. If I want to purchase and boost a burnal, I'll need to clear my hand of some of the patents. I'll sell 2 of them with my operation for the turn. The event is a glitch, but all my stacks are currently with humans, so they are not affected. This is the final turn of the 2nd year. I guess I'll produce a freighter now in Lutetia with my operation. I probably should have done this sooner to get my freighter going. The burnal in the offer isn't that interesting. Hopefully, I get something better with an inspiration this next year. Now that I have a freighter in Lutetia, I can start a freighter stack and place its marker on the map. I won't move my freighter just yet. I'll wait until next turn to load it with aqua so it can deliver it to Elio. Aerobonaut's black side nanobots are very good. Changes to the buggy type ISRU and can survey sites with just one hydration. I should really consider claiming and industrializing a C-type site in the near future. That concludes the second year. I placed the seniority disc on the equality ideology. I think this is a good stopping point for this video. This first couple of years were somewhat slow. I was only able to build one factory in space. But I guess upgrading my rocket's thruster and getting a freighter going should pay dividends in future rounds. I hope you enjoyed this first part. Don't forget to like the video and leave a comment if you would like to share your thoughts on this playthrough. If you find a mistake, let me know and I'll add it in the description for others to see. I'll see you on the next one.